Well, hello there. I have been thinking about whether I should talk about this or not. I kept going back and forth. And today I have decided to talk about it finally, not because I have figured it out. No, I'm still struggling. Because this is still part of my life. So, in today's video, I would like to talk about my relationship with my body image, and my eating disorder. Being more specific is bulimia. And for the disclaimer, please, if you have any sensitivity towards eating disorder or to the related topics, please do not watch this video. Thank you. And I want to start from the very beginning. I think I was around 10 years old when I started getting a lot of comments on my body. I was a very tall kid. I was big, I was muscular, and I loved food. I loved moving around. I loved playing. And from that very young age, I started comparing myself to other kids, like in terms of my body and my height. And you know, the kids, they compare themselves all the time, and they make comments about others' body or others' heights and so on. And around from that age, I started thinking about maybe I should eat less, maybe I should diet, maybe I should be skinnier. As you can guess, it started with dieting. Even that time, as a kid, I could get all the information about dieting, and dieting culture, like dieting talk, has always been in the media. So it was like very easily accessible through the movies, and even girls, even kids, they still talk about dieting. And for me, it wasn't really dieting. It was just like not eating at all. And of course, losing control and binging and obsessing over the food. And the worst part was purging. And at that time, I lost almost 25 kilos in 3 months. So you can imagine how I lost that. So I was hungry, and I was not eating, and I was binging and purging. So in that pattern, I lost almost 25 kilos. And of course, it led to very, very serious health problems. And I took a treatment from the hospitals, and almost it lasted 2 years. And then after that, I decided to move to South Korea for my studies. So at the beginning, everything was fine. New people, new place, everything is so exciting, studies, being student. And as you can guess, being student is not an easy thing. It's quite stressful. So my eating disorder came back, unfortunately. And then I got everything back. So being hungry all the time, losing control, binging, and purging. And I want to talk about culture and environment being very carefully. I am not someone who likes to talk about negative things about politics, culture, people, society. At the end of the day, you are the one who choose to live here, and you're the one who's responsible for your own actions. But being 5'10" girl, being very, very tall women, and living in a society where petite women are favored is a real struggle, I would say. And especially when you have eating disorder, especially when you have negative body image. Being more specific, you're exposed to the media every day. As you can guess, it's a K-pop and it's a K-drama. And I don't want to label anyone by calling them skinny or not skinny, fat or not fat. But as you can see that K-pop and then K-drama actresses and then K-pop idols, they are on the skinnier side. So, and on top of that, you are surrounded by the people who always talk about dieting culture and then how they would like to look like a certain idol, or they want to be skinny as this idol, and then so on. But at the end of the day, as I mentioned before, I am the one who needs to be responsible for my actions. I cannot blame any society, or I cannot blame media or people. It is what it is. And now I want to talk about the real methods and ways that have been helping me a lot in terms of my eating disorder and body image. And I want to be clear about something. I'm not here to talk about medical advice, or I'm not talking about fitness or eating healthy or doing sports and so on, because they are very obvious. But I want to talk about the real deals that want to help you if you're also struggling with binge eating and body image. So the first one is journaling. Journaling is a very simple thing, but in terms of body image and eating disorder, I think it's very important to journal every step, especially when you overeat and when you binge and purge. Especially you have to write down the factors and causes that made you overeat. For example, when I overeat and when I binge and purge, I all the time write down the reasons. For example, it can be anything. For example, I was overstimulated at work, or I was very stressed about my studies or about my finances. So next time when you reflect and when you reread what you write down, it's easier not to follow that patterns. So I think it's very important to journal. And another big thing for me was understanding dopamine. So you have to understand the fact that our brain lives for the dopamine, and binge eating food, delicious food, is the easiest and fastest way to get dopamine into your brain. And one thing that helped me a lot is finding a different source of dopamine. I mean, in a good and meaningful way. For example, for me, it is making my mind and making my brain busy. I mean, in a good way. For example, learning new things. I know it sounds very cliche, but learning new things keeps you busy all the time. And as an example, I've always wanted to try golf. And I've recently started playing golf, and I'm very happy about that. And I'm quite busy because of the office work, and I'm learning golf. And I've noticed that when I play golf or when I learn new things, my brain gets quieter, especially in terms of food. So I'm not obsessing food 24/7. And another big thing is making social media content, because I do love it. I enjoy making content, and it matters a lot. So if there are new hobbies or if there are new interests that you have been wanting to try for a long time, or if you have eating disorder, and if you're trying to solve this problem, I think learning a new thing and keeping your brain busy is gonna help a lot. I'm sharing this video. I know someone watching this feeling ashamed, scared, or alone, and they don't know how to explain this cycle. And if this video makes even one person less alone or less ashamed, I think it's worth saying out loud. Thank you for listening. If you're struggling, please remember this. You deserve help and softness, not punishment. And if you're on your own journey, I'm gonna walk with you. Thank you for watching.